choice to decide whether or not we listen to the Spirit, but it will be there speaking to. Because I have friends that went through that whole thing, and now they're more spiritual than I ever could be. Like, but now when we talk about it, is yeah, when I was in college, this is what I used to do. I would be at the party. I would know that I'm not supposed to be listening to that song, or the guys just cussing. I'm listening to it. I know I'm not supposed to, but because everybody's having fun, and I want to have fun, and I want to experience it, I'm going to stay. And it was alcohol that gave many of my friends the support that they needed to actually be at a party. If you go into a place and you feel like you got to drink in order for you to feel like maybe I could stay, then you know you shouldn't be there. Now, it's your choice. Now, God would not like, He ain't treat us as it was from Adam and Eve. He gives you a choice. You decide whether or not you want to choose that path. But at the end of the day, don't try not to be that one that says, God, I have to be afraid if you can go to that bar. You know? You see what I'm saying? Well, I think you should touch your face when you're ready to get inside. Because that's just, you know, like,
so you want to test your faith so you can become stronger. That's what you're saying.
yeah, in a way.
Good stuff. Well, I know some people are having to go. I just want to say I hear some very good questions. And I'm hearing some very, very, very good responses. And I think that it's real. I think that these are some of the questions that not only us, but many Christians are facing. And I just want to put up some of the other questions, just to put them on your mind. What are some of the other questions that people have about what Christians can and cannot do? Can you go ahead to the next one? You can just let all of those come up. Is it okay for Christians to have sex? I'm surprised nobody brought that up. Or maybe everybody already knows. Or can we smooch if we know our limits? That's a sin right there. How close is too close? Anybody ever asked that question? In terms of intimacy, how close is too close? If you have your man right there, brother man right there, or brother got sister girl right there, how far can you go in a relationship as a Christian? Go as far as you want to go and have their underwear on. Hands tied behind the back. You all up in the sex. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. I'm just here smiling.
Well, in regards to that, we actually, our next real talk is actually about this relationships and Christianity, and we're going to go through all of this. So that's something for you to think about for the next
Good. Is it okay to chill at the club as long as you let your light shine? We talked about that. Is it possible to let our light shine at the club? My friends want to do things that I don't agree with. What should I do? These are some of the things that came up tonight. Do I have to go to church every week? Why can't I just stomp and shout in the comfort of my own room? BET comes on. Why do I got to go to church when the preacher and the choir comes on BET? What's wrong with that?
Sorry. But before that, PD Gates and everybody else comes on too, so I thought sometimes I get a little bit of church there. If I haven't found a church home, why not? You're still getting the word. You're still getting fed. Maybe not full.
Why not? Why not? Anybody else ask that question? Nobody asked that question? Just her? Nobody don't feel like getting up to church, going to church, and they just want to have church right in their own dorm, right in their own room.
I don't know. I feel like going to church is more than just about hearing the preacher. It's about having your brothers and sisters around and seeing their joy. Like when they're on TV, you see them having fun, but then you're like, I'm just alone in my room. But when you go to church, you have like just your brothers and your sisters, and they're having just as much fun. And you like when you're feeling down, you just don't turn on the TV and then you just feel happy. Like when you go to church and you're sad, like your brothers and sisters are smiling and they're like asking you what's wrong, and then you have like that person-to-person connection. It's just like going to a party. When you go to a party and you sit down, like people will come up to you. It's the same thing as going to church. It's just like a Christian way to party. Instead of drinking, we listen to the preacher to fulfill our needs instead of drinking. It's the same thing.
But at the same time, when somebody sees you're doing it, they're almost jealous of it and want to know why you're so happy. Just like what type of drug is she taking, what type of pie is she having. And it's more so, I think, it's Exactly. Living life in a Christian walk.
All
But
right.
sometimes I think the church cannot be so welcoming because you have some of the people that are one judgmental, critical, and not really your friend, but your friends in church.
True.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy going to church. Sometimes I feel it's a fashion show, sometimes I feel it's a competition.
Unfortunately,
Whose
that's true,
daughter
too.
is getting A's and B's.
That's
Whose
being attacked.
daughter is pregnant or not pregnant. Whose daughter, has a chain on, whatever. But at the end of the day, church is important because that's where you get fuel from your pastor who knows what he's talking about, who went to school, to be able to preach, or not went to school, but knows how to teach the word, and that's when ministers come in.
Okay. Good stuff. Let me go ahead.
My question is, do you have to go to church to, like, a pastor doesn't be you, just like me or you. What is the difference between him and me?
Yeah, I mean,
Why does he have the wisdom? Because,
why do you go to school? Why do you go to classes? You could just read the book and get that knowledge from just reading the book, but why do you trust a professor to teach you what's already in the book? Because they have that wisdom to know, like, what's not written down. Like, you might not get, like, you might not understand. But sometimes I read the Bible, I'm like, okay, that's what it says, but I don't understand it. So that's the understanding I get from church.
You have something to say?
I was just going to say that there's a couple of people, there's a couple of people that they can actually go to school, but they probably don't know how to. Maybe you can do the same thing.
I was just saying, like, the Bible says that whoever seeks wisdom should ask from God through this abundance in his way. So, I don't feel like we have to go to school to become a preacher. God has ordained you, and that's it. If he's ordained you, he's ordained you. So,
I hear what's oh.
Like that, you have to go through you figure out so that's just like one.
I was just saying, like, because, I mean, I go to church every week too, like, to get that extra, like, like, get that, like, strength that goes from system. But I don't need to go to church. I can stay in my room and read my word and pray to God to understand it. Understand? So it's all about, like, my mom can buy my salvation, nothing like that. I have to get it on my own.
But if you get someone in the church, I mean, in the church, in the Bible where it says in the church, in the Bible where it says that you should go to church, I don't know whether it's a commandment or something. I feel like it's like somewhere in the Bible that you should share your Christianity with others. And if you're in your room, just like, yeah, you can stay in your room and feel the same way, but like, you're supposed to share with other people. And if you're in your room, how are you sharing it with other people? I feel like that's what church is about. If you have people around you that believe the same thing you believe, and you guys get to share in that faith. So if you're not going to church, then you're just sharing with yourself.
All right, hold on. This is good. This is good stuff. Let me ask you this. All of these questions we're having, whether it's about church, whether it's about drinking, whether it's about whether or not we can go to clubs and stuff, where do we get answers for this stuff? And you can put up that other slide. Where do we get our answers? Where do we find out about stuff? And I put up some of the most common things. We were talking about school. Somebody said, I don't believe you have to go to school to be a preacher and things like that. So the guidelines for how Christians should live, what we can and cannot do, where do we get them from? Bible. Anything else?
Your family.
Family.
Yeah.
Where do you get them from? Where do you find out answers? Real talk is good because this is where you come around people that are supposed to be like-minded. They're supposed to be like-minded, and you can hopefully get some answers in here. But ultimately, where do you find the answers to the questions that you have about your Christianity?
Through prayer.
Through prayer. So you pray, and God comes down and says,
say it comes down to kind of like a
Well, we-
conversation, but I'm saying if you constantly pray about something, eventually the answer will come to you.
How?
If you want to know your purpose in life, you continue to walk in, say, godly life.